Hello, 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 Wits and Brains subscribers. We are here on the 15th episode. Ta-da! Wits and Brains with Casey and Catherine, and we are talking about, okay, we are not timid today. We are talking about hiring people, hiring the person you hate. Sometimes it's a good thing. So, what do you think of that word, hate, Casey?
I have mixed feelings about that word. Um, yeah, it's a strong word. However, I think in some cases you definitely need to use it. So, hiring the person you hate, yeah, I think in larger companies it's a necessary.
Yes, I think, like you said, like in big organizations, let's just say, and I use these words with clients that are leaders, and I have said leaders lead everybody, not just little Susie that you like, not Jimmy that you like to drink a beer with, everybody. So once you accept that position as a leader, as a manager, as a boss, as an owner, you better realize that the everybody is your workforce.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee you 1000% someone will be in there that probably isn't your cup of tea. So,
100% agree.
yeah. Right now in the world, everybody's talking about diversity, but they're not necessarily hiring it. They're doing all of the movements to make it look like they are. But diversity means different ways of thinking, different ways of doing something. Um, so sometimes you're not going to like everybody.
Yeah. You bring up an excellent point about how now everyone's talking about diversity. And I want to point out that it's not just about hiring someone who's not the same, you know, skin color or religion or whatever the case might be, or gender or whatnot. It's beyond that. And I actually just had a conversation with a client last night about how when I hire, I always do the strengths assessment and I fill the gaps that, I have in my organization based upon that. I haven't necessarily hired someone that I hate because we're only a 4-person company and that would just be miserable. But as we grow, I know that there's going to be a time where I have to fill those gaps with someone who I wouldn't necessarily go have a beer with.
Right. And they may add something so big that they're worth the hire.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I've worked on, say, committees. Oh my. I worked on committees where it would be a lot of different people. And say the thing that I thought would be so important, other people would think that was silly. Or why put the money towards that, whatever the thing is. But the understanding that you're not going to be in love with every single person. And you can have a great career and a great business, and the business can grow with people in it and around it that are not your favorite people. Maybe the word hate was like knife to the chest, but I want to make a point here too with Wits and Brains that the two of us are not scared to maybe say a word every once in a while that's uncomfortable to the viewers.
Not at all.
Because the viewers expect, something from us. And we're making a statement. Sometimes you're going to have to hire, or maybe you already hired the person that you're not in love with and you feel like you're stuck. Figure out what value they bring. Because they may be filling a spot that you cannot fill.
Yeah. And you might be able to fill it, but you might not be able to fill it as well. And I love that you brought up the committee thing because I think so. for me, I've been on a committee before where if I had known that one particular person was going to be on it, I would have never joined the committee.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't want to be around this person any more than I have to be. However, that person brought so much attention to detail that I was like blown away. And it was like the piece, the glue that we needed to fit the pieces together. And I mean, it worked out great. And we got so many compliments of like, wow, you guys are so ahead of things. And we just all gelled together. We might not have hung out afterwards or whatever, but it worked. And, you know, we were able to get things done.
Yeah.
But I also want to do the flip side of not only hire the person that you hate, but if you are being hired, be confident in knowing what you bring to the table so that when you do go to that interview, you show up and make it known that, hey, I'm here to do a job, and that could be to grow your business, to make it more efficient, whatever the case might be. You might not like me, but this is the expertise that I bring. You know what I mean?
Right. There's a lot of research on being loved and hated or whatever. I read something that said something like, if you posted something on the internet, which we all know the people that love to post all kinds of crap on the internet, if you posted it, know that there are 1 million people that disagree with you instantly.
Oh, 100%.
So think about that, ladies and gents, before you post something. 1 million people hate you already.
Yeah.
So be cautious. You might be the person that people are hating that's been hired.
Be cautious, but also learn to have thick skin. And we've talked about that in previous episodes. Like, you can't please everyone. And yeah. People pleasing, let's just say, if you're a business owner, you cannot necessarily be a people pleaser. And I was always told, if people are, how is this saying? It's if people aren't talking about you, you're not doing something right, or something along those lines.
Right. I've had people, and quite a few people, that have said, oh, I've never heard a woman talk like that. And I've thought, well, are you running me down, or what? I don't take it as that. I take it as, well, this woman's going to talk like that. But you know what? Sometimes you're the person that people have something to say, something to talk about. And so know that when you're hiring, that, like I just mentioned, leaders lead everybody. That possibly underdog, or possibly the most irritating human being on the face of the earth, that person that you have working for you, you're still leading them.
Absolutely.
So keep everything as ethical and professional as you can, and accept with yourself that that person may not be your cup of tea, but you still lead them.
And know what is your stuff and what's their stuff.
Oh, yeah. Golly. Know what is your stuff. What's that? Stay in your own lane. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane and be the expert in that lane. And then hire other experts. And some of those experts are going to be irritating, but you're still going to hire them.
Yep.
I mean,
can't be the smartest person in the room as a business owner. You have to surround yourself with certain skill sets, but you have to recognize that. You have to understand where your own shortcomings are, where your own hurdles are. You know, you have to be 100% honest with yourself. Admit that you don't know everything, because ignorance is bliss.
That's right. That's right. Last week, please watch last week's if you didn't, because exactly, ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, at the end of the day, you're there to run a business. You're there to make money, to do all the things that opens up doors for, and you can't necessarily do it without those people that seem like a thorn in your side.
Right. I was recently asked, I hired someone for something, and someone said, how are you so confident on how that person is performing? And I have said, oh, in everything in my life, I only hire experts. I don't care. My massage therapist, expert. The person who does books, expert. The person who, everything,
Yeah.
expert. And then you know what? I don't have to be best friends with any of them.
Right.
I'm hiring them to do a job, and I know it's getting done right.
Right.
So, sometimes hiring the person you hate. Sometimes, oh geez, not sometimes, all the time, you need someone around you that balances.
Absolutely.
Okay, so if you haven't figured out, I like to laugh. Humor is one of my top 5 strengths. I use it in business, I use it in life, I use it in everything.
Same.
I have a person. I mean, we wouldn't be called Wits and Brains, right? If we didn't. I have a person in my life that rarely laughs, which makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. But we have a project together that we are phenomenal. Because you know what? When it's not time to laugh, that person checks me. When it's time to laugh, I take over. And it's going great. It's going great because I don't hate this person. So I don't want if this person's listening, I don't hate them, but they're not me.
Right.
And that's making the project move forward. If there were 2 of me, it probably wouldn't. If there were 2 of them, it probably wouldn't move forward. But the opposite person. I just read something really cool, maybe a couple months ago, that one of the top reasons people hate is envy. Go through the list in your head right now of the people you dislike. Maybe there's something about them you're jealous.
That, or, and I don't have the stats to back this up, but a lot of times when you see something in someone that you can't stand, it's most likely because you recognize that thing in yourself and you don't like it. Boy, am I preaching to myself.
Like when I pass someone and I think, man, he's arrogant. And then I'm like, I kind of did that, last week in a meeting. Okay, eyes wide open, right? Because that's what business is anyway. But envy. So think about the people that hate you. I mean, I can't. There's this comedian that just keeps popping into my head where this comedian's talking to his mom, and she's like, "Everybody's jealous of you, baby angel." And then, so think of that. Maybe people are jealous. Maybe people are envious about what you're doing or what you have the guts to do, and they hate you. And they hate you, and it's okay. And then check yourself. Why am I hating whoever over there? Ooh. Or is there something about them that you're envious? Well, something to check yourself on. You might need to hire them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So Wits and Brains here to give advice, to guide your business, to guide you to your potential. And sometimes you're going to have to hire people and partner with people that you do hate. And you know what? It's business, and it may be the best business plan you ever had to find people that you're not madly in love with 24 hours a day.
Yes.
And remember, 1 million people already dislike something that you're thinking. So we are talking next week about I can burp the alphabet.
I can't. Just so you know.
Do not miss it. You're going to feel inspired and all badass. All right. Talk to you next week.